Hello, Akash Gupta, CEO of Clean Electric. Welcome to Sustainability Next. Sustainability Next is the India's largest and most read magazine on sustainability, published from Bank. It is a fortnightly digital magazine, and I'm Benedict Paramanand. I'm the editor and founder of Sustainability Next. So we
Uh,
do this dialogue series with business leaders and typically with startup founders and yeah. So the reason I got excited about doing this interview is this chat rather is about uh, demystifying and breaking the myths about the battery industry that is there among a lot of us consumers. So I just thought this was the best opportunity to do that. So before we go there, just give us a sense of your company that you started in 2016 and you're into manufacturing Leon batteries for transport sector. So and you
Right.
have 200 employees. So what has the journey been from 2016 to now?
Um, we started this during our BTech days at IIT PHU Varanasi, uh,
Okay.
and we started full time working on clean electric in 2020. So it's been more than 4 years now as we speak.
Okay.
And Abhinav, me, and Ankit, we started this in 2020 full time. We
Yeah.
left our jobs and started this during the first wave of COVID pandemic. And it's been 4 years now, and we have grown to a 80-member team as
Okay.
we speak. And the focus is to solve the key barriers which are not allowing the EVs to scale from 1 to 100. So, so if you look at the key roadblocks or key barriers, why we are still in 2-3% in EV penetration. So there are two things: cost and affordability. So, cost, convenience, two things which we need to solve for. Today, you can refuel your combustion engine car or two wheeler in 5 minutes, but for an EV, it takes 60 minutes to 120 minutes, 1 to 2 hours to get your EVs charged. So this is a very big inconvenience for the average end consumer who is purchasing an automobile, which needs to be solved. And there are a lot of incidents which has happened with respect to a lot of electric vehicles catching fire, whether it is two-wheeler or four-wheeler or electric car. So which has reduced the confidence of the average consumer to buy an
Hmm.
electric vehicle. And there is always a concern that they have to change battery in 3 to 5 years time. uh, Whether they have to do it or not, that is a separate question, but they have a fear कि क्या होगा बैटरी का 5 साल बाद. तो
Hmm.
उसमें आजकल OEMs 5 साल 8 साल की वारंटी दे रहे हैं, तो उससे काफी हद तक कुछ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो रही है.
Hmm.
बट अगर आप फ्लीट एप्लीकेशन देखेंगे तो वहां पे तो 3 साल में बैटरी खराब हो ही जाती है. 3 साल
Hmm.
में आपको बैटरी चेंज करनी ही पड़ती है, क्योंकि वहां पे जो रनिंग है वो बहुत ज्यादा है. एक कार 60,000 किलोमीटर चलती है अगर आप ब्लू स्मार्ट ओला उबर में देखेंगे तो जो बैटरी लाइफ, बैटरी सेफ्टी और जो चार्जिंग टाइम को लेके जो समस्याएं थी, उनको एड्रेस करना बहुत जरूरी था. एंड दैट इज द रीजन वी स्टार्टेड दिस फुल टाइम in 2020 to solve these problems. Can EV charge in 10 to 20 minutes? Can battery
So,
last?
okay, so just take a pause here. So you stated the uh, significant problems that uh, and the pain points that EV owners are facing, and you have set in to address them. So in 4 years, how have you addressed that?
करेक्ट. सो इन 4 सालों में हमने इन्हीं मेजर प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करी है.
Hmm.
सिंस हम लोग 10 साल से इलेक्ट्रिक गाड़ियां बना रहे हैं. हम लोग जब IIT BHU में अपनी इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे थे, तो भी हम लोग अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पे हमने इवेंट्स में इलेक्ट्रिक.
Uh, Akash, don't make it fully Hindi. You can do mix of the two.
हाँ. So basically, we have been participating in international events
Yeah.
in Philippines, Singapore, where we represented our country and we got top 3 rankings in at international levels. by building electric cars for the racing events, basically. So we have been building EVs for 10 years now, and we have very deep expertise in solving some of the key issues. And as we speak,
We
we
means go India now. You said 10 years.
10 years of building electric vehicles since our
That is,
beta. Uh,
that's India. India, you're saying, not you. No, you're a 4-year-old company.
बट हमने इंजीनियरिंग 2014 से हम लोग कर रहे हैं, तो हम लोग उस
Okay.
टाइम से कॉलेज टाइम से इलेक्ट्रिक गाड़ियां बना रहे हैं.
Acha, acha.
इट इज नॉट अ 4 year जर्नी. So
Okay, okay.
we built our first EV in 2014
Okay.
in IIT BHU Varanasi.
Okay. Oh.
So तो जो नो हाउ है बेसिकली, हाउ EVs works, how EV powertrain works, how batteries
Mm.
work. So we have been building our own batteries since past 10 years now,
Yeah.
and it was for events, racing events, and now it is for roadworthy legal vehicles. Basically, that
And
is
you have patents, I understand, for your Leon batteries. So it's a global patent or Indian patent?
it's a global patent. We have four granted patents, which we have filed in India and US.
Mm.
And we are doing the PCT application, which means extending the patents to other geographies. And we
Mm.
are looking at Europe and other countries to further extend the patents too.
Mm. Mm. So, okay, so you are both a hardware and a software company, I understand. So how do you manage to combine the two? It's difficult. Usually one company is either this or that.
So, Benedict, to solve this problem, it has to be a two-sided approach, and
Yeah.
it cannot be only solved through software, because lithium-ion battery is an electrochemical device. You are
Mm.
converting chemical energy into electrical energy.
Yeah.
So, uh, it is largely dependent on temperature and the other
Mm.
ambient condition.
Mm. Mm.
So, to be able to solve this, you need to have a very advanced thermal management system, electrical system, mechanical architecture, a very superior hardware. And then we have our own proprietary algorithm, which we call STM algorithm, which
Mhm.
stands for Smart Temperature Modulation. That is the brain behind how we crack this 12-minute charging uh, of an EV. So it's a
Okay.
combination of a very superior hardware backed by global patents, and a sophisticated software to be able to do in a efficient and a smarter manner, so that you don't end up degrading the battery. Uh, you
Correct.
can
So
do
this is
fast
for the
charging.
cars and bigger vehicles. Is it not two-wheelers?
It's a very scalable technology, Benedict. It
Mm.
can be, we are working with electric two-wheeler manufacturer, three-wheeler manufacturer, electric car and light commercial vehicle
Okay.
OEMs at this point in time.
Mm.
And we have already shown live demonstration of electric two-wheeler getting charged in 12
Mm.
minutes, electric three-wheeler getting charged in 12 minutes.
Oh,
And
nice.
there are some confidential projects which I cannot speak at this point in time, with reputed companies, and in which electric car and light commercial vehicle will also get charged in 12 minutes. But that announcement will come at the right
So, so we can call you a 12-minute company.
time. Yes, you can say that. We believe that 12 to 20 minutes. It need not to be 12 minute always. It could be 10 minutes, 15
Yeah.
minutes, 20 minutes, depending on different application. Um,
Yeah.
but
Okay. So before we go to the other larger question,
still 10-20 minutes is far better than 60
hmm,
minutes.
okay. So by when will the consumers be able to access this 12 to 20-minute thing? Is it at scale? At scale, I'm saying.
In this calendar year.
Okay. And how are you manufacturing, getting into the manufacturing bit, which is pretty complex, given that manufacturing batteries in India is very difficult because lack of access of the raw materials. So how do you see this?
So we already have a manufacturing facility in which we assemble the battery packs, and
Mhm.
we can assemble 1200 battery packs in a month. And uh, it is okay to start with, and we have plans to further scale up this thing. And yes, you are right. Uh, One primarily input for making battery packs is the cells, and rest all the electronics, mechanical, and other systems we do in house. A cell is something which we have to rely upon
Mhm.
China and other countries to
Mhm.
import from,
Mhm.
because there is zero cell manufacturing capability as we speak in India.
Yeah.
But we see it changing in next 2 to 4 years,
Mhm.
as people start setting up 40, 50 gigawatt hour, which has been allocated in PLI
Mhm.
to various companies.
Mhm. Mhm. That's interesting. So what is the see demand forecast is difficult now, or how is it? Because the acceptance of EV is little shaky. But what is the demand kind of? Is it difficult to forecast demand in 3 years, let's say?
So there are some short-term disruptions here and there, FAME subsidy getting reduced. So there was some dip in sales in monthly basis for a couple of months. But if you see at the last 3 4 year picture, every year the EV sales has minimum doubled basically. If you
Mhm.
compare the data in terms of the number of units sold,
Yeah.
so we don't see that changing over the past 4 5 years minimum. So we will be still growing at 50 to 70% CAGR year on year in all the categories. I will say two-wheeler, three-wheeler. It could be
Mhm.
fast. It could be faster in two-wheeler, three-wheeler. It could be
Mhm.
100% or more. But the long-term visibility and the projections will not get affected by this small changes in subsidy here and there,
Yeah.
because battery prices has come down, and
Mhm.
now uh, uh,
And you
uh,
think it will stay there? It has come down, but the big question is, will it stay there?
there might be some minor fluctuation here and there, but uh, it will it will it will kind of remain in the similar ballpark. So it is not the case that it will be going significantly up like it happened last time. So we believe that it will remain in the similar ballpark in the coming years. And now the price difference between a combustion engine and a normal vehicle is very less. In two-wheeler, it is almost non-existent. In case
Mhm.
of three-wheeler, the delta will be 20% or less. In case of car, also Tata cars are yeah, in 20% range. If you compare with automatic, they are at very close to price parity.
Mhm.
So the long-term thing will not get affected by this short-term thing, like
Mhm.
FAME 3, people anticipating FAME 3 and
Okay.
EMPS schemes or PLI schemes. So this will all add to a longer picture, but I think by 2030, whatever target has been set in terms of 80% penetration in two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and 30% penetration in car and other commercial vehicles is very much doable. And as per me, uh, we will exceed those expectations in terms of 2030 to 80% EV penetration across sectors.
Mhm. Yeah. So, battery is still going to be a challenge going forward for the growth. How confident are you that India is going to manage this battery challenge?
So yeah, uh, the way we solve EVs and batteries in India is a little different than how people have solved batteries and EVs globally. If you compare US and European market,
Hmm.
what they have done, they have put almost 70 to 100 kilowatt hour battery in a car,
Hmm.
because those people don't have a problem in buying a 40,000 US dollar car or a
Hmm.
35,000 or a 60,000 US dollar car. But the way Indian OEMs have gone about it, if you look at Tata Motors, which is
Hmm.
having more than 70% market share, they have come up with a battery capacity ranging from 25 to 40 kilowatt hour. which
Mhm.
is almost half that what global car OEMs has been doing.
Mhm.
So, why? Because the battery is a 30-40% cost, and if you reduce the size of the battery and still are able to give a 200, 300, 400 kilometer range, people are happy with it. People in India, it's a very congested country,
Mhm.
and we don't have to do long distance like we do
Yeah.
in US and Europe. So
Mhm.
our requirement is different. So first of all, we have cost efficient EVs, and we believe our technology is going to be very crucial. Or
Mhm.
anyone who is building a 15-minute battery technology is going to be very crucial, because you can solve this problem of range anxiety. If
Mhm.
you shrink the charging time from 60 minutes to 15 minutes, you can solve this range anxiety problem.
Mhm. Okay.
In cities, you will charge once or twice a week. You
Mhm.
will not lose, because your car is 300 kilometer, your average running will be 50 kilometer.
Yeah.
You will charge on weekends, or two times in a week maximum.
Yeah.
If you are going on intercity, there are various companies, Charge Zone, Fortum, Glida, setting up charging stations, static, and all that.
Mhm.
So if your car can accept a faster charge, and if your car can refuel you for next 300 kilometer in 15 minutes, you never need a 600 kilometer long range car, because they take 1 hour or 30 minutes or 45 minutes to get charged. If Indian OEMs can collaborate with companies who are doing 15-minute charging,
Mhm.
will be a it will be a game changer, and we
Okay.
will set a global benchmark for
Mhm.
other countries. It will
Mhm.
optimize the resources. For
Mhm.
X number of batteries, now you can make 2x amount of cars, because
Correct.
you are solving it in a much smarter way,
Mhm.
than or in a much sustainable way. You will be needing half the raw material
Yeah.
if you
Okay.
are talking about batteries. So that is the approach we need to take as a country,
Yeah.
because it's a very price sensitive market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the global trend that just came across, especially in Europe and Europe particularly, is that they are preferring a hybrid model where it's both electric and either diesel or petrol. That is being seen as the future, not EV alone. So, I mean, if that is going to catch up, it's going to disrupt the whole market, isn't it?
So Benedict, we luckily we have a very futuristic and a visionary government, and the people who are sitting there, for example, Nitin Gadkari and other cabinet ministers, they are very bullish. uh, we could have taken that approach. We will like you mentioned, Europe and other countries, they move to mild hybrid, then strong hybrid, and then electric vehicles. But it is a blessing in disguise that our country is making a leapfrog and
Mm.
directly jumping to electric vehicles. There are no popular strong hybrid as we speak, and
Mm.
Tata is able to sell lakhs of vehicles, and other cars are also, other OEMs are also. We are doing 100,000 cars a year currently, and next year we will be doing 200,000.
I
So
mean, that's
it's
the EV cars you're saying?
EV car, I'm saying. So it's a blessing in disguise that we have made that shift. We don't have to get into the complexity of an hybrid vehicle,
Mm.
because you need to understand, hybrid vehicles are not easy. When
Yeah.
you have to manage a combustion engine transmission and the electric powertrain,
Mm.
it become complex. But companies like General Motors and all, they have the legacy, so they have to live with it. But
Mm.
luckily, if you see at Indian OEMs,
Mm.
uh, they are either doing CNG or they are doing uh, electric. For
Mm.
example, Mahindra also, their
Mm.
entire range of electric vehicles, SUVs, are based on born electric architecture, which they will be coming up with the end of this year.
Mm.
So I think India will do that, leapfrog and directly shift to a battery electric vehicle rather than strong hybrids, which is the trend in other countries. Until and unless people like Maruti or other lobby something
Mm.
to the government
Mm.
uh, in their interest. But I see. If we directly jump to EV, that will be the better way, and we can build the entire infra in one shot.
And
Because
hybrid will be very expensive also.
hybrid will be expensive. You have to manage combustion engine,
Yeah,
transmission
yeah,
also, and motor also, and power electronics and all that thing. And it is not only expensive, it is complex also. It
complex.
will add to weight and all that thing. If you can go to 100% green kilometer, why we need to have dependencies on hybrid? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the obvious question anybody would ask you is China has leapfrogged in EVs. Uh, uh, so, what can India learn from them? 3 points.
So if you look at the Chinese car market, it is a 25-30 million annual car sales, and they sold 8 million electric vehicles,
Oh,
and 8 million electric cars out of 25-30 million overall car sales. In India, that number is zero point 0.1 million uh, electric car sales, and 4.5 million total car sales. So
mm,
the number of cars per thousand, we are still very less as compared to
mm,
China, but it has been significantly improved. Pre-COVID, we were doing 3 million, now we are doing 4.5 million. So it's a
mm,
50% jump in the sector. So, uh, uh, but we have to be very frugal. We have to develop our own supply chain like China has done it. Chinese government has supported a lot to the OEMs. They have bailed out lot of electric car companies like Neo and other when they faced problems. US has done the same thing with Tesla, extending a $400 million loan facilities to these car companies. So uh, we have to have our own supply chains. We need to start setting up our competencies not only in manufacturing but also in all the design capabilities,
mm.
whether it is about cell or it is about battery, it is about motors or controllers. We need to be self-sufficient in terms of the technology and the production, and rest will follow. Government has been proactive, but uh, not as proactive as China has done to promote their industry. But I
So,
think
how
if
long
we
can we how long can we be a protectionist economy where we open up to Chinese companies, because in every other areas we have opened up. All our laptops are now not in foreign. So by doing this, being being protectionist, trying to raise domestic thing, it's going to take much longer, and others are going to leapfrog much higher. So from a consumer point of view, how do you see this?
so look, this is nothing which is casted in stone.
Mm,
Currently, if you look at the policy, if an global OEM is willing to invest $500 million, 4,000 crore,
mm,
they are getting import subsidies and all that. Instead of
mm,
100%, they only have to pay 15% duty if they
mm.
have planned for local manufacturing. So India, at this point in time, has already taken a globalization
Okay.
stand, and
Mm,
they today the policies which has been rolled out by MHIs, they
mm,
are favoring good companies like Teslas and other to set up for their manufacturing base in India. So it is a good thing to start with because the existing OEMs will not become complacent, and
mm,
they will have to invest in technology to stay ahead of the curve. So it is a very good stance that Indian government is opening up the electric car market to
mm.
global OEMs with the introduction of that new policy.
Yeah.
Uh, we will have to wait and watch how things turn out. Let's
Mm,
suppose 5 year, 10 year down the line, if because global OEM have started 10, 20 years ago, so they
yeah.
will have some benefit in terms of supply chain, economy of scale, and all that benefit.
Mm,
So if Indian OEMs can also catch up to that economy of scale and supply chain efficiencies, there is no need to protect and Indian car manufacturer like Mahindra and Tata are producing good quality cars, and
okay. Mm,
Mahindra 3XO and Tata Nexon, all are global five-star NCAP rating, safe
mm,
vehicles. So we are moving in that direction. So there is no need of protection at this point in time. But
mm,
let's suppose 5 year down the line, 3 year down the line, if we see that there is a some disparity in terms of level playing field, and the foreign OEMs are having some other additional benefits which Indian OEMs are not having. Government can introduce new policies at that point in time just to create a level playing field
Yeah,
uh, for a short term, for a 2 3 year term, till the time Indian OEMs also get to that scale and supply chain efficiencies which global OEMs are. And it has happened with steel industry when
yeah,
China start dumping steel in the country. Government has imposed anti-dumping duty and all that. So Indian government is very proactive in that manner and very agile. And I think we'll have a level playing field in future. At this point in time, it is okay to open up the sector because Indian OEMs will not become complacent. Otherwise,
yes,
they will take things for granted that there
yes.
is nothing to worry about.
Understand. What's your vision for the next 3 years?
Currently we have started the production of electric two-wheeler battery packs already. We are supplying to Bounce Infinity and other customers. So the idea is to start the supply to electric three-wheeler OEMs in this financial year, and going forward to start supplying uh, high-performance battery packs. To enable Indian OEMs to compete with global players like Tesla and others, because they already have a 30-minute charging and Indian
Mm,
OEMs are sitting at a 60-minute charging. So we need to support Indian OEMs with a global and latest technology so that they can compete when Tesla, Kia and other global OEMs bring their technology from US and Europe. So the idea is to penetrate across two-wheeler, three-wheeler, electric car, electric bus, and grid storage uh, market, and focus on energy storage for the time being.
mm,
And because renewable energy transition also need a lot of batteries, because
yeah,
wind and solar are intermittent in nature, so you need batteries to supply firm power to the grid which is required.
yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Akshay, for your Akash. Sorry for your time and all the best. I'm sure you'll have a very bright future, electric future, I would say.
Thanks a lot, Benedict, for having us, and look forward to more interaction.
Yeah, same here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.